Hi, everybody. This is Danielle Dietrich. I'm here today to talk to you about more things DBE and ACDBE personal narratives. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for coming. I hope you find it useful. I know a lot of folks are just clamoring for information, so I'm trying to share what I can when I can. Really appreciate if you like and subscribe or leave a comment down below to let me know that you're watching. So today I'm going to talk about 8 frequently asked questions that I have been receiving from clients and people who are inquiring about potentially becoming a client. So these aren't in any particular order. They're not ranked or anything. It's just 8 things that I've been hearing a lot. So I thought some of you might have the same questions. First, does the business need one personal narrative or does each owner need a personal narrative? And then sort of a subset of that is, does every single owner need a personal narrative or only those who are disadvantaged or trying to be counted as disadvantaged? So the answer to that is that every owner who wants to be considered disadvantaged, so you need a minimum of owners holding at least 51%, must submit a personal narrative. So it is not one per company. So if you have 10 disadvantaged owners in your business, all 10 must submit a personal narrative. So that's what it needs to be because it's each person making an individualized showing of being disadvantaged. Next question I've been hearing a lot of is, how many items, examples, things do I need to list? Is there a minimum? Is there a maximum? The answer is we don't know. No one has said that there's a minimum number. And there's also, maybe one person has a really good example. It's only one, but someone else has like 10 smaller examples. And so weighing those things. The way I'm advising my clients is to just put it all out there. You don't know what's going to resonate with the certifying agency reviewing it. So if you've got it and it's a decent statement, it's truthful, absolutely, it always has to be truthful. No doubt about that. List it. Go for it. And, working with somebody to help you draft your personal narrative will help you also come up with other examples that you may not have thought of on your own. Number 3 kind of ties into that a little bit. How are these going to be scored or graded or what's considered passing or failing? We don't know. The US DOT, in issuing the interim final rule and the frequently asked questions publication that they made a few weeks back, has not provided any kind of process, grading, checklist, anything like that. So it's up to the different state UCPs to come up with their own procedures. So they're all probably going to be a little bit different. And so we don't know. So again, that's why we are trying to cover all of our bases whenever we are drafting these. Number 4, how many years back do I need to have examples to list? And the answer to that is go back to birth. It doesn't just have to be things that happened in, say, the prior 3 years, 5 years. It can be from birth, as long as it happened in this country. They have clarified that they do want things that have happened in this country. So if something happened to you as a child in another country before you came to the US, that's not likely going to count. You may still want to list it in your personal narrative if it's part of your background, it's part of who you are, and maybe it had an effect once you got to the US. But you can go far back to your childhood. Maybe you grew up in, say, a rural area or a very urban area that you did not have a well-funded school, that you were behind on your education, things like that. So you can go far back. This isn't just what happened to you in the last couple of years. Number 5, do I need to talk about individual disadvantage or disadvantage to the business? And this is a really interesting question because the way that things are drafted are, I mean, the spirit of the rule is that the individual owner has to be disadvantaged. But what we are seeing in so much of the guidance that's coming out from from the UCPs that are issuing guidance on this is a lot of them are talking about things that are business disadvantaged. And I mean, let's admit it, that sometimes the owner and the business aren't so easily separated. You're kind of one and the same, especially you single owner businesses out there. I mean, your business is your life. And so your inability to access capital and credit, for instance, as a business is inherently tied to who you are as an individual owner. So my answer to clients is both. I have received draft personal narratives or answers to my questionnaire that really don't talk about personal things and just all talk about items to the business. And I send that back to the client. I say, I can't, this isn't going to cut it. You absolutely need to have individualized, you personal examples. You can't just have business examples. And then the converse of that, I would also include business examples, even if you're very heavy on the individual. So the answer to that question is you should include both. Number 6, can you, the attorney, Danielle, review a personal narrative that I already drafted or that somebody else drafted for me and help me revise it? Because I have put out there that I'm following a process, a flat fee. I have a questionnaire that I draft from. So the answer is yes, I can review the personal narrative that you already drafted, or maybe you worked with somebody else. Maybe, I know there's some organizations out there helping and I can say yes, I can do this. It's not going to change the cost because it actually probably takes me more time to do some work on something and revise something somebody else did. You might think that it might be a cost saving thing. It's really not, and that's kind of across the board in most legal circumstances when somebody a non-lawyer drafts something and wants a lawyer to take a look at it and revise it. It's usually easier and less expensive from the get-go to have the lawyer do it from the start. So just a tip out there. I've been doing it. If that's your circumstance, feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about it. Okay, number 7. My UCP has not issued any guidance. Should I still be worrying about my personal narrative and starting to draft it? My answer to that is yes, because they're going to be first, they're going to be patterning their decisions and guidance largely off of what other states have started to do, would be my guess. And you don't want to be in a rush to write this. So if you have time now, get the process started. Because what if they come out and say, hey, we're ready to accept your personal narratives, but that timing just happens to coincide with your busiest season, or maybe there's a big proposal out there or something else. I get it. I procrastinate on some things too. And you're a business owner, you've got a lot of things going on. But if this is important to your business, you should be getting started. You shouldn't be kicking the can down the road because you're going to want to get it in and get it done, have it off your mind, because I know this is weighing heavily on a lot of people. That's kind of the two schools of thought I get from potential clients is people who really want to get it done, then people who kind of don't want to worry about it right now. And if that's you, that's fine. That's your choice, obviously. But I would suggest working on it now. And then number 8, again, these were in no particular order. I've had a lot of clients ask me this. This is in regards to the personal net worth statement, which we haven't talked about much. And maybe that'll be my next video is talking about personal net worth statements. But clients have said, well, here's my personal net worth statement. My last one I sent in like 2 years ago. Can I just use this? And the answer is no. And that's for several reasons. First, your personal net worth statement, which every single person trying to get certified as a disadvantaged owner, every single owner has to submit a new personal net worth statement. And those personal net worth statements have to be accurate as of the day you submit it. So submitting something 2 years ago is no longer accurate. Second of all, a lot of you don't realize that last year in 2024, when the regulations were updated, they went into effect May 9th of 2024, there's an entirely new personal net worth statement form that must be used. And you want to use this form because this form does not count your qualified retirement accounts. And that is a huge, huge deal. That was a huge increase in the personal net worth to take those out of the calculation. And then the personal net worth limit was also raised from 1.32 to 2.047 billion. I also suggest if you're working with me, I include this in my flat fee because I want to look at these personal net worth statements because I see a lot of errors, and we'll talk about some of those in my next video. So those are just 8 frequently asked questions that I've been hearing quite a bit from clients and people reaching out to me. So I wanted to share those answers in hopes that they help you. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to build up the channel and also trying to get it to spread to more people because there are, One number I saw was more than 41,000 DBEs and ACDBEs out there. And so that's how many hundreds of thousands of DBE owners, considering a lot of them have multiple owners. So want to get this information spread out as much as possible. Thank you so much for watching.